Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode we finished up Crocodile Cauldron, got all the DK coins and all the Krem coins, and we are actually proceeding on in this level to proper Crocodile Isle. We are heading on to Krem Quay, a swamp world. So we're just gonna get right into it and go right into Barrel Bayou. And I'm gonna say one of my things that I normally say here, and I'm not sorry for saying it at all because I truly do believe it, but I think that this is where the game gets hard. I know I said that a lot in a lot of my other LPs, but I'm trying to use that more sparingly, and I'm gonna use this as one of my things, as one of my times. So Krem Quay is a very interesting location. We went from a lava world and a pirate ship world to a swamp, and here we have the return of Clomp, very rare enemy, and he drowned. Again, we have the splashing sound effects, and that's great. So these swamps, they're very atmospheric and they sound very pretty, and they're interesting in their relationship to the Kremlings, just from an aesthetic standpoint, because that was a bad idea. I should not have done that. They're interesting from a thematic standpoint, because the Kremlings are always associated with, like, industrialization, and that's a cloak. They throw stuff and laugh at you, and sometimes they throw bananas. So sometimes if you hang around, they'll throw extra goodies. So yeah, this is Krem Quay. Those enemies will do something different. We want Rambi. There's so much going on, and it's hard to talk about what I want to talk about, but yeah. Get rid of him. What's interesting is that the Kremlings are very associated with industrialization. In Donkey Kong Country 1, oh no. Oh well. Damn it! But as far as their obsession with industrialization goes, that was dumb. That was really bad. Oh, that should not have killed me. The most industrialization you see in the swamp is like the gangplanks and the galleons. I mean, I can see why they didn't industrialize the volcano, because it's a goddamn volcano. Although they have some mines down there anyway, so they are doing stuff down there. But here in the swamp, they just have these boardwalks, and that's interesting because as crocodiles, they would have an affinity for swamp worlds. So this is like the most peaceful area in the game, by which I mean most ideal for them. While it's very disgusting and gross for monkeys, because we should not be in the swamp. Actually, I don't know how monkeys really relate to swamps in terms of, like, an environment to live in. Get back to me on that if you know anything. Or don't. I'm kind of indifferent. I could probably just Google that, but this is a very hostile environment, as I said. Because in Donkey Kong Country 1, you had all these bright, jungle-friendly environments, ideal environments for monkeys, you know. Places where they would live. Maybe some caves, sure. I need to fire this thing before it actually does it on its own. But ultimately, those were all nice places for monkeys. This is places for crocodiles. And the swamp in particular is... These levels are usually long, at the very least. If they're not hard, if they aren't too hard, then they end up being long. And just take that as you will. I think we needed that. Well... Or maybe he just gave us a life. So those bananas up there, of course, give you a hint that something is over to the left, and that will come in the form of what this cloak is up to if we just stalk him. I have no regrets about doing that. He was throwing crap at us earlier. He deserved that. Destroy them all. My favorite. So this one's actually really easy as far as, you know, bonus stages go. You just throw them up and hit 3 enemies, and that's it. Although they do give you a bit of a short timer to do it all in, so, you know, don't take your time with it. Don't just mess around. So here we have a fun mechanic with these barrels we've seen before, how you can influence your direction and kind of ride them, and if you follow this guy, he's gone. And then they just keep throwing these guys at you. Cloaks are mean. They're kind of rude, and I do not appreciate them. I think he was already throwing something again, but you know what? I'll spare him this time, if only because they're kind of hard to kill. Unless you throw your monkey at them, I just remembered. And if I am correct... Yep. They like to put clobbers next to each other, and clobbers are pretty common in these areas. And don't jump on the bee. That's a bad idea. Now, I think he might throw stuff more if you follow these cloaks around. Or, oh no. Such is the cost of assuming. Interestingly, even though I said that this is where the game gets hard, I don't mean in this level, I mean in this world. This level, actually, as much as I've died, isn't that bad. There we go. This level, I'm just kind of having some sloppy moments, and I do kind of regret that, because I can do better. I can do so much better, but I'm not. And we got a bunch of these yellow clobbers. I've heard they make a honking noise, but I don't hear it. It's more like a rah, rah, rah. It's more like a growly sound. And we're just gonna roll past all this stuff, since it's dangerous. You're really debilitated when you only have one Kong. Because, I mean, I have 18 Kongs, but that's besides the point. Like, right up there. That is really hard to... Yep. And he would have thrown a bee. So, you know, you gotta get in there before you lose your chance. A condition of most levels in this game is because a lot of them use the same pieces to construct their level, a lot of the level ends up looking kind of the same. Cog! But I think this is most evident in the swamps, where there's not a lot of difference in the shape of the terrain. Like, it's pretty flat all the way through. You might be wondering what I'm doing here. That's what. And the zinger is no matter for us, because we are now going to go on and get the token. We're gonna find the token, the Krem coin to be exact. Incidentally, this music that is playing is a remix of Jungle Japes from Donkey Kong Country 1, and in my opinion, it is one of the best remixes of that soundtrack, aside from maybe the remixes that you find in Donkey Kong Country Returns, which are particularly good. Now, we haven't found the DK coin yet, and that kind of fills me with anger, but, you know, uh-oh. Well, that's... No! And there's your DK coin. You do have to use Rambi to get your DK coin. Sorry, Rambi, but you have been sacrificed for the greater good. Alright, and now we're going on to Glimmer's Galleon, the level in the world where the game gets hard. There, I feel that the game gets hard, and this is a very, very interesting level. It's very dark and very scary. Well, it's a ship sunk in the middle of a swamp. I don't know what you were expecting, so... This is very interesting as a ship hold level. It is entirely underwater, and on top of that is the last ship hold level in the game, also by far the hardest. It's very dark, and atmospherically it's beautiful and creepy and disgusting, and I like it, sort of. Anyway, I'm gonna go and try and find a Krem coin in the dark. This is actually not as hard as it looks, because you can kind of get a feel for where the boxes are by the contours of their edges, or at least the faint lines, and you can kind of, your brain fills in where the edges of the boxes are, so it's not too bad. And that takes care of that, except, if I'm correct, there are more secret rooms around here, and how you're supposed to know this on your first time playing, I don't know. This is one of the, when I was talking about ship holds earlier, and how they were painfully hidden, this is one of my examples of that. This is pretty, what am I doing over here? Nothing worthwhile, apparently. And I know there's more around here. I know that there's another around here. Well, wherever it is, it's not there. Oh, I think we need to go and search from the first room. You gotta go back to the first room, and then from here... Yep, there we go. We got a 3, and I think this is where you get your DK coin. Yep, you gotta go all the way to room number 4, and that is actually a very well-hidden DK coin, and I would not blame somebody looking that one up, because you don't know how many secret rooms there are. You just kind of have to rub your faces all over every box, kind of like New Super Mario Bros. Style. Ho! I mean that. Also, I like these clomps underwater. I mean, he's a crocodile in swamp water. He doesn't really care. Can't really do anything about him, though. He's not really a threat, and he's not really dangerous. And here we have something that will make this experience easier, but at the same time a little more painful. This is Glimmer. He's the one who's helping us. And I think we can go in here, or no, wait, there's just a balloon in there. As you can see, he does light up the entire path ahead for us, so that's really nice, and he's a huge boon. He's kind of like one of the Squawks levels in Donkey Kong Country 1. That is the only Squawks level, where Squawks holds a light through a dark cave and guides your way. In this level, he kind of has the same problem that Squawks did in that game, where every time you turn, you get a little flash of light. I'm not sure if that'll show up on the video for how brief it is, but if you can see it, I'm sorry for every time it kind of flashes you in the eyes. I don't think it's as bad as it was in Donkey Kong Country 1. Also, I was informed that the reason that those lockjaws, the red piranha-like fish, were biting so slow in the first world of the game is because they are slower in the first levels of the game and get faster as the game goes on. And that's really cool that the developers do something like that. I am getting completely lost, aren't I? I'm going backward, aren't I? Yep. It is really easy to get lost in here. This place is kind of like a maze with multiple paths and, oh jeez. Well, not multiple paths so much as just branching paths that bring back to the old paths so you can kind of easily loop in on yourself and get lost. So, yeah. And for that matter, I'm not sure if we got everything in the game, everything in this level in terms of secrets, or if there's another Krem coin. I think there might be, for how early they kind of put it. And I don't have any idea how to get to that, unless I accidentally get it, but I doubt I will. But yeah, the Donkey Kong Country games are kind of good about this with enemies, where they'll make them they'll make them easier in the first levels, and then the further you get, the deadlier they get, the faster and more dangerous. Oh, that's actually a one-way block. That's actually pretty neat. So that's how you get that. And they will do this in later Donkey Kong Countries. I'm not sure how much they did it in the first. I think they did it a bit. At least they had variations of enemy styles. Like, some of them jumped. Some of them... Actually, I think the most common thing that they did was jump. And here these pufferfish explode. This can actually be really threatening. Not so much out here where there's wide open space, but when you start encountering them in tighter closed quarters, they become a bit of an issue. So that's a thing. Now, I think that actually this is the only level in the game that is entirely underwater, and it works for that. And as I said in like the first episode or two, or one of them, and bye Dixie. Bye Dixie! Even though this is the only underwater level, exclusively underwater level in the game, I think, and I talked about this in the first or second episode, I will talk about that a little bit later. Not yet. It will become relevant in this world, but not yet. So why am I talking about it now? Because I'm buying and stalling for time, that's why. Another cool feature is that to drown out the light, they boarded up the windows in this place, so that adds to the darkness of this entire galleon. We've got to watch out for the exploding fish. How did how did the Kremlings get these ships everywhere? How did they get them inside the volcano? How did they get them in the swamp? And this isn't even the worst of it yet. You'll see the worst of it soon enough. But I have no idea. They're very industrious at wrecking things and making things terrible. Those lights are on, but they're very dim, I guess. So as you can see, this place is it's not really fun to explore. I mean, it's really hostile and dangerous, and I mean, I guess that works for it. Is there anything down here now? No. And I like this level, but at the same time, it's kind of a pain to play through. Atmospherically, it's great and terrifying and hostile, and has some of the most dangerous underwater enemies in the game, which I guess you could say is all of them, because I don't even think they give you a on guard in this level, because you have Glimmer. I hate starfish. Interesting story. In Donkey Kong 64, it took me the longest time to actually do the underwater sections, because the starfish in that game are like these starfish, and they would swim at you, and that actually scared the crap out of me for some reason. Not anymore, but they did. So, oh god. Oh, this is bad times. So you can see that they're kind of cramming you into more narrow passageways with more dangerous space. You don't really have a lot of thought to work with here. And here we have the other bonus level, I think. Find the token. Good old find the token. Except this time, you have Glimmer to help you. And I think, like in the first level, the bananas will lead you to dead ends. So you actually want to stay away from the bananas. This is a harder version. Yep, That is exactly what you do. The bananas lead you to dead ends. I mean, I guess if you know where the Krem Quay is, you can go and get them for free bananas. I mean, who doesn't like a free banana? Fun fact, I think it was Donkey Kong Country 1, I'll correct this, when they were selling it, or DKC 2 or 3 or 64, one of them. When they were doing them, when they were selling the game, I think it was in Europe, they had a campaign where game stores would be like, if you brought in bananas equivalent to the cost of the game, if you brought in 100 bananas, I died. In this level, the best thing you can do is be fast. Is be as fast as you can, and that is your best bet to survival. But yeah, I can't remember what place did it, but the campaign was you bring in like 100 bananas, you get a copy of Donkey Kong Country, whichever version of the game it was. And the thing is, COG! So many people brought in the game that many bananas. Like, I don't know where they were getting these bananas from, but people were bringing them in, so many of them, that they lost so much money on that campaign. And the game stores were just filled with these bananas that they just had to throw out, because you can't eat 100 bananas that fast. You crazy? What are you going to do with 100 bananas? Oh, that's actually a fun thing I'm going to show off. Okay, so here's this pufferfish. It's not doing anything. But if you try to go up in there, it'll follow you up and pretty much kill you. Okay, that takes care of that. And I think if you go a little higher... Oh, it does not explode. It just sits there. Very interesting. But we get to this barrel, and that'll pop us out on deck. And this is a very rude placement of an enemy. For the longest time, I didn't realize that in order to kill these guys, all you have to do is roll into them. That's it. I thought they were like one of those invincible enemies to touch or jumping on. Anyway, that's going to round off this level of the game, before the music gets going too much, because this level, this background, this music will be more relevant soon enough, but not yet. For now, we're just going to get this life. Okay, and by doing that, we actually unlocked a ton of stuff. There is our next level in the game. There's Cranky's Place, the Monkey Museum. We unlocked 3 places all at once. Funky's Flights, Kong College, and it's really nice that they do this early in the level, and I think they do it because the game has such a difficulty spike. So if you want to go back and, you know, bolster up your lives and get ready for the challenges up ahead, you have the option to, so long as you have the money. I got everything in that level, so I am going to just sit on Cranky's head, and I think that that'll be an episode for today. I'm not sure if I already said that. And alrighty, so in the next episode, we're actually probably going to be doing the next 2 levels of Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. And if you want to see more, then I just hope to see somebody in the next one. Bye-bye!